Hello and welcome to another Star Citizen podcast. I'm BoredGamer and I'm here with the lovely Zin. Say hello, lovely Zin.
Hello, lovely Zin.
It's the 19th of February 2024 and we're going to be talking about some of the Evocati changes, briefly about distribution centers, a little bit about griefing, Todd, Papy and Jake Ross leaving CIG as well, and a little tiny bit of CitizenCon teasers. It's not that bad. They were there for 9 and 10 years. That's like top 2% of retention in the gaming industry. That's ridiculous the amount of time they spent there. But right, let's talk about Evocati changes to start with. So, are you aware of these Evocati changes, in?
Yes, because I do my job.
Boom, good. That's perfect. So, Evocati changes. Basically, Cloud Imperium have said there's NDA with Evocati. You're not allowed to talk about them, Evocati patches. You're not allowed to share patch notes. You're not allowed to make videos of it, all that sort of stuff of Evocati members. But they get leaked out and makes my life very difficult as a content creator that's also an Evocati member. So Cloud Imperium, not because of me, but it just aids me. Basically, Cloud Imperium have said, look, we are going to allow for the discussion and the demystifying of the patch notes for Evocati. Basically, we're going to release the patch notes for the Evocati publicly, which previously they were only released privately, and it appears that Evocati members will be able to discuss those patch notes and discuss, for the most part, maybe not in all situations, what they're testing in the current patch. This won't allow them to share images or video or audio stuff in-game from Evocati builds. We'll be making videos and stuff on it, but we won't be able to share the in-game stuff. We'll sort of use B-roll or whatever, or something similar. But what do you think of this, Sin? Is this a great idea? Is this Cloud Imperium taking back control? Is this a terrible idea? Have they folded under pressure because it was just getting leaked everywhere?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah?
I don't think they're folding. To be fair, I'm pretty sure you said in the video, this is something they should have done from the beginning, really. Yeah.
So I've talked about this before, and 100%, to me, it was obvious that they should have released those Evocati patch notes to the wider masses and be prepared to talk about it. Yeah, if for some reason you don't want to share the videos of Evocati stuff, well, then you remit, don't share them, but talk about them, talk about the patches, talk about the patch notes, because, well, it's just going to get leaked anyway, right? Cloud Imperium should be taking control of that, and they're big enough to take that on the chin, those sort of criticisms. So it's not like Star Citizen is a private project. It's not in closed alpha, really secretive. There's only employees that are working on it or anything like that. It's a really super open development, the most open development of any game I've ever seen over many years, with a huge amount of volunteers and these Evocati, which are basically volunteers that have NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. And it'd be mad to think that there wouldn't be a constant stream of leaks and discussion. So you're pro this, are you, Zin?
Yeah. I think it's great. Also, it allows people to know what they're testing at the cutting edge, essentially.
Yeah, what they're focused on now. And a lot of people follow Star Citizen and like Star Citizen because it is an open development, and they talk about that sort of stuff. It also gives you everyone a bit better of an understanding, an idea of how these patches progress and what they're working on now, what you can expect for the patch later, a little bit earlier. So yeah, I absolutely love this. This effectively means that we've got more to do and more to talk about in a really good way, so we don't have to scrape the bottom of the barrel sometimes when it comes to, oh, what news is there today? Well, there's no news again. Let's have a look at Reddit. Is anyone complaining about anything? Let's talk about this complaint. So yeah, more stuff for us to talk about. I mean, we are expanding content, and there's more and more to do in Star Citizen every day, which is absolutely great. This year especially, it looks like it is a watershed year for Star Citizen, with a load of features and stuff coming in. But one of those features, Sin, that's coming in Star Citizen this year, distribution centers. So they don't sound particularly cool. They just sound like, oh, that sounds great. What a great feature. But coming in Alpha 3.23, which is supposed to be released in April. These are giant, or at least very large landing zones, big facilities with a load of mission content and just gameplay content tied to them, from defense missions to combat to cargo and delivery, stealth missions, lots and lots of stuff, all happening at the same zone with lots of players doing them. There's obviously going to be lots of these distribution centers around with different archetypes owned by different companies. Some of them owned by been raided by Nine Tails, and they live there. Some of them maybe the UE military that don't really want you there unless you've got a mission with them. But some are like Cryastro who like welcome you there because they want you to use their services and give you missions and that sort of stuff. So are you excited by stuff like this? Does it add essential variety to the verse, do you think? Or is it just, more stuff to do, but it's actually pretty minor?
I'm pretty sure I said this last time. It's like, we'll get used to them eventually. Like, it'll be very exciting to begin with, but then eventually they'll just be like the underground bunkers. Yeah,
it's just lots of people have been talking about them, so I thought it was worth briefly discussing them again. But yeah, really excited for them. They're coming in Alpha 3.23. Let's get moderately excited for that. There's a lot more to do in that patch. I'm looking forward to the raids and stuff like that, although I'm not sure if I'm going to be participating much in things like raids because I'm a much more lawful player. Are you concerned that there might be too much going on in these zones and you might be doing delivery and there's like 5 people doing combat missions that pull you into that combat mission, or they start raiding while you're there and you just like, oh, these are PvP hell zones? Are you concerned about that, or do you think there's going to be different levels of distribution center and some of them are going to be quite low on the PvP and danger?
I mean, I don't know what there's going to be, but I kind of like the idea of that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That surprises me from using.
But, I mean, at the moment, I don't think it's going to happen that often, if that sort of thing's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be relatively rare that sort of a full-on chaotic combat will break out where you're doing a delivery mission and then you're actually in some sort of PvP scenario where people are infiltrating and murdering everyone. We'll wait and see, I suppose. Griefing. That segues us nicely onto griefing, Zin. So CIG basically made a updated statement on the griefing recently. And basically they said, look, we know that griefing might occur, especially with some of the new systems, like the new persistent hangars and the freight elevators especially, because they've got some of these above ground without hangars as well, like at distribution centers and some of the other outposts and stuff. That people grief. People will pad ram. Those are things that are very much griefing. Just going after someone and repeatedly ramming them or just harassing them with no benefit to yourself other than I'm going to stop them from playing the game. That's griefing. Yeah?
Yeah.
That is something that CIG do not want in their game. But how do they go about preventing it in their game? Because they don't want to police it in the sense that they don't want to have to constantly deal with reports, because that's a load of manpower, that's a load of stuff that's dealt with outside of the game. That's bad. They want laws, protections, and stuff to discourage or prevent it with in-game systems, meaning that you shouldn't need to report that to outside authorities. Now, you like to be doing what you know you're going to be doing without sort of getting just random PvP when you're not expecting it, right? You're not a fan of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even if I know there's going to be PvP, it's like, it depends on the extent of it.
You want to win.
Well, yeah, essentially.
Or be able to escape or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm very much in the position that I like PvP when I'm in the mood for PvP, and I want to be fully prepared for the risk versus reward of when I'm going into an area. So I want to know the risks, I want to know that these situations can happen, but I also want areas that are pretty protected. Cloud Imperium have basically said, look, we want to encourage PvP solutions to certain things in game. Piracy is very legitimate gameplay. They want to encourage piracy. They also want organic PvP to occur and it to be based on risk versus reward and other systems. But the game is not there yet. It hasn't got all of the in-game systems to help shepherd this. And there's a lot of ways to screw over players currently in game. I think that is a concern at the moment, but the game is in alpha. I would like to see protections for players in certain areas. So if you're at a UE landing zone, you should basically be immune to being griefed, right?
Yeah.
So you're at a station or whatever that's in lawful space. If someone pad rams you, well, you should awaken the medical facility, not have to pay anything, not have lost any of your stuff, and they had to pay for any damages to your ship. That sort of stuff, because, well, what's happening to them? They pad rammed you, they're going to go to prison, and they should have to pay for everything, and the UE should protect you. You're in your sort of safe zones.
Yeah.
And if you want to have org wars, great. Everyone's consenting to the org war, they participate in it. That maybe allows for more free-form fighting in certain places, but not all places. And then you have sort of like lawful areas of space that have very low chance of PvP, and there's loads of security and stuff, but it can technically still happen. You're just not going to get away with just griefing or random PvP. And then you've got like moderately safe places like Stanton that have got more of a chance of PvP, it's secure. There are pirates and outlaws there, we sort of know that. And then you've got like Pyro, which is the Wild West. I know obviously we've played a reasonable amount of dynamic events. Now, I'm very much in the opinion that with dynamic events, I'm fine with people being able to do PvP as long as they can't just suddenly go, I was pretending to be on your side.
Yeah.
Because that means I can't react, and also the law system's basically protecting them until then. But I think that when we get reputation system, death of a spaceman, when we get some extra laws, then they can start marking up players that go, yeah, you want to be in the Siege of Orison? And you want to be fighting with the Ninetales? Cool. You start on the opposite side. You start down here. They call you in here. And people are very aware that you're an enemy. I think that's all it is. They just need to signpost it and mark it appropriately and let people know that this stuff might occur and just give everyone sort of like, you're going into a PvP area. Just be aware. Or this is much more dangerous in this area. Be aware. And no, actually, these areas are safe. Do you think that there should be some genuinely safe zones in Star Citizen? Or do you think that PvP should technically be able to break out anywhere?
So, kind of yes. But I also am wondering if maybe they could literally just have a PvP-free server.
Oh, okay.
Essentially. So
segregation of players.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that they probably don't want to do that, and it's probably not a good idea. But it's an idea, you know?
Yeah.
And it'll be a case of if you want to join this server, be aware that PvP may happen and you might get attacked.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so I think I'd prefer everyone to be on the same server, just basically segregate the zones. Just go,
yeah.
This Sol and Terror and stuff, you're super safe. Like, you are safe, and even if somehow PvP did occur, you're protected, basically.
You'll get reimbursed, basically.
Yeah, you get reimbursed. Yeah. You haven't lost anything. The only thing you've lost effectively is time, and that player is removed from being able to do that in that area again for a huge period of time because they're imprisoned or they're super illegal. They're not allowed in those systems because they'll get immediately shot or whatever. There's a load of systems CIG could put in place to prevent problem players or players that potentially are griefing, because a lot of it's going to be pirates that are just trying to exploit the system, right? They want to do piracy, they want to do it well, and they go, what's the meta? Well, actually, the meta is to get into this safe system somehow and then attack unsuspecting players, because then they have a reasonable amount of loot. They don't have escorts because they're in a safe zone, which means that I'm very profitable as a pirate. And piracy is very legitimate as gameplay. What do you think of piracy in general, Zin? Like, you pro piracy in Star Citizen? Do you think it's a cool gameplay loop?
Not really, but I'm not going to deny people their fun if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, old lawful Zin, old lawful train simulator Zin, doing a trucking. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how this all evolves in the future, because obviously there's a huge range of players. Some that hate PvP, some that love it, some that want a bit of a hybrid, some that want to do it sometimes and not others, and you'll find yourself in one of those categories. And sometimes your tastes and opinions and stuff will change. So tell us what you think about that in the comments below, where you sort of hit on that scale. Now, Zin.
Yeah.
What do you think about these big heavy hitters, Todd, Papy and Jake Ross, leaving CIG?
It's kind of sad.
Yeah?
Like,
sad?
Boohoo, sad. Yeah.
Yeah. They're genuinely pretty cool people in the community. They were obviously appeared in lots of videos. They seemed pretty well liked, pretty positive at CIG. They've done a lot of good work there. They worked Todd and Jake there. Worked for 9 and 10 years respectively at CIG, which is a ridiculous amount of time. So CIG don't make statements on why employees leave. For the most part, they sort of respect their privacy and stuff. So with a game like Star Citizen and the open development, do you think that's appropriate? Do you think, yes, obviously, don't comment about staff. They were there when they were there. They were cool. Respect their privacy now. It's a shame they've left the project, but that's sort of the all we can say. Or should we be speculating on why they left? Should Cloud Imperium actually be talking about it? What do you think?
So I don't think it's so much respecting their privacy. I think it's more of a case of they don't need to.
Yeah.
They don't need to make a statement. It's irrelevant,
Okay.
If the people want to make a statement, the people who leave want to make a statement, I think they can and should if they want to.
I suppose it's professional, right? It's professional sort of respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're allowed to speculate if we want to. There's no law against that. So. Yeah.
No law of speculation, not yet. Oh God. That's my channel done if I can't speculate anymore. So we've talked about Todd Papy leaving recently, but we didn't have much information about that. So Todd Papy was Star Citizen live game director when he left. So pretty big to the project. We don't know who's filling that void at the moment. Some people have suggested Tony Zerovic, but we'll see. Jake Ross was a lead producer. Now, it's been suggested that maybe CIG are trying to concentrate power in the UK and sort of downsize some of the American offices because they're more expensive, and because obviously they've got that huge office in the UK, and a load of their talent, including Chris Roberts and stuff, is in the UK now. But obviously they've got the Montreal studio as well, which seems to be growing. So it looks like they're concentrating a lot of their workforce in Canada, Montreal, in Frankfurt, and mostly in the UK. And the Austin and LA studios look like they're quite expensive and maybe depreciating. We don't know that for sure. There's some signs that point to that as a possibility. So do you think that's possible, Zin? Do you think that's a good idea for them to sort of concentrate in the UK?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a business expert. I don't know what's best for the company. If they think that's best for the company, then so be it.
Yeah, fair. It's just speculation and a theory anyway.
Yeah. The thing is, I'd always like to think that people have left for their own personal reasons, like just not a case of, oh, this business is doing something that I don't like and I want to leave.
Well, I suppose they like money, right?
Yeah.
That's the main thing you do your job for, right? You do your job for your money.
Yes.
For your career. But I suppose, yes, if you enjoy your job, great. Obviously, Zin has a load of personal satisfaction at her job because this is what she always dreamed of doing, working with me. Even before she had met me, she dreamed of working with me. She loves it. So I was saying with Jake Ross, he actually has a bit of a statement on his LinkedIn, which I'll quickly read. Mm-hmm. After 10 years, my time at Cloud Imperium Games is coming to a close. I wouldn't trade the experience I've had here at CIG for anything. The challenges were great, but the rewards and opportunities even greater. I directly contributed to and/or was an active driver for over 25 major releases for Star Citizen, and that experience has been invaluable and will forever shape my career. People have periodically asked me why I stayed at CIG as long as I did in an industry where you typically don't see that type of longevity. I was fortunate to have, and the answer, while cliche in some ways, was always the same: the people and the project. I stayed because of the truly exceptional people, many of which I now call dear friends, that I got to work with and interact with on a daily basis, and I stayed to be a part of a project that was truly remarkable. We weren't, and still aren't, afraid to swing for the fences. Swing for the fences?
Yeah. It's a baseball term, isn't it?
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's for a home run, isn't it?
But yeah, why not? And I swung with all my might for 10 years with some awesome folks. I don't watch basketball.
Baseball.
Yeah, that's the one. They've both got balls and bats. There's so many people that helped get me to where I am today. Too many to list. He goes on to basically say some awesome people that helped propel him to greater heights. I also thank the people that I had the privilege of serving as their manager over the years that entrusted me with their growth and career opportunities. I hope I was able to do right by all of you and help set you all up for success. I know you'll all have in your careers. I'll be forever grateful for these people and many more for the support and wisdom I received over the years. While this moment is bittersweet, I'm looking forward to the future, whatever new challenges that await me in my next role. So that's a really nice, sweet statement. Basically saying I'm leaving. I've been there for so long. It's awesome. But it's coming to an end and it's bittersweet. That's a really cool thing to say, right? For CIG,
Yeah.
Normally people don't sort of release statements like that, right?
I guess not, no. But like I said, I think if they're willing to make a statement, I think they should, because it provides clarity.
Yes, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic for the community when a dev or an ex-dev or whatever does something like this. Because you're like, awesome, you had a great time there. It seems like they're not disgruntled. Because I think people worry, right? They're like, oh, are they ill? Did they do something wrong? Did they get fired? Just a ton of stuff goes through everyone's head, and everyone will speculate randomly. But I think in some situations, it's just life happens, and people want to move on to a new journey to their career, a new sort of story for their career, potentially in a better place with more money. That just happens. And this industry, I think people typically leave within 3 years and almost always within 1 to 5 years. The sort of industry turnover for gaming, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
So I'm going to say something that will make you quite happy.
Oh, money? So doing money?
No.
Oh.
So I don't get the whole leaving of a job just because you've been there for so long.
Oh, thank you, Sim.
If you enjoy the job, you're getting paid well, and you're looked after properly, why would you want to leave?
I think a lot of people are going to be career hungry, so they're going to move into new career.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm not. I am not career focused at all. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Like,
that's why I pay you less.
So like DC doesn't understand this. And he's like, why would you not want to? It's like, because if I'm doing a job I enjoy and I'm getting paid enough money that I'm comfortable, why would I want to rock the boat?
So DC, for people's references, Sin's partner, she is not BoredGamer girlfriend.
Not BoredGamer wife.
Not BoredGamer wife. Yeah, so no, you're right. So some people are just going to be content and comfortable. I think that if you've been in a company for 10 years, that you might just want to move somewhere else. Your life might have changed. You might want to start a family. There's a ton of stuff that can happen, right? No, for some people, totally agree. And I thank you for always remaining loyal to BoredGamer. Thanks, Sin. But no, yeah, it's horses for courses. There's going to be different people, and we don't know, and we are probably never going to know all of the details of why people leave CIG and that sort of stuff. And what I will say is that we should genuinely thank Jake and Todd for their service, and sort of give them a bit of a salute for just doing some great stuff for Star Citizen. I mean, some people are just going to blame them, right, for the reason that we still haven't got a game that's been fully launched is because of people like this. Whereas I see Star Citizen as this growing, beautiful mega game that is actually becoming a reality because of them now. What do you think? Are they to blame or to congratulate or a bit of both?
No, I mean, why would you blame them?
I don't know. Some people do. You've seen the internet.
I don't get it. No. Yeah, I know.
Something else I wanted to talk about those in. There's some teasers, more teasers for CitizenCon.
Teasers?
Well, so Tyler keeps on posting. So Xylo, CIG, one of the chief top dog community manager, has posted recently. I know many of you are waiting for more information and dates related to CitizenCon. Hang tight, just a little longer. We're almost ready to share more information. As a side note, though, CitizenCon 2954 is one that you will not want to miss. So they keep on saying stuff like this. It was sort of recently revealed at a Bar Citizen, at least this is what people are saying, that Tyler had said CitizenCon is Manchester, UK this year, which Sin and I are quite happy about because we should be attending. Pretty easier for us to attend, and we're kind of excited for that. But do you think that these sort of hype and teasers are useful, or do you think CIG should maybe not hype it when they haven't really got anything to say beyond more's coming in the future? Soon we'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, I kind of think, like, why bother? Like, to be fair, most people who are interested are already going to be looking forward to it. You know, CitizenCon is generally a good time, a good information gathering. You know, why wouldn't you look forward to it?
Yeah. But I suppose what I'm saying is this tweet just as useful as just tweeting the word hype? Hype soon?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Like, what?
Well, hopefully we will actually see something about CitizenCon soon. Dates would be good because then we can book a hotel. Yeah. And I want to book a hotel before the hotels are 500 quid a night or something. Oh, hate that. But yeah, that's what I really want to talk about today, Zin.
All right, mate.
I'm excited for Alpha 3.22.1. We're going to be playing some more of that, hopefully testing some of the overdrive stuff, and getting on some Idris boarding tests when they happen, if they happen again. And then there's obviously lots of stuff coming out about Alpha 3.23, and we'll be able to talk about the Evocati patch notes once they release some more of them. So lots more coming. Tell us what you think in the comments below. I'm interested to know, are you excited for any of what we talked about? Are you going to be attending CitizenCon if it's in the UK this year? Do you want to wildly speculate about anything we talked about? Say goodbye, Zin.
Goodbye, Zin.
Perfect. 100% perfect podcast. Tell us your thoughts and comments in the comments below. Questions, things. Bye. People always ask me, what's your favourite ship? And I always answer, it's NordVPN. With its powerful loadout, it wrecks pros and noobs alike. I can cruise around the verse with the added security that online threats aren't as much of a big deal. It also deals with intrusive ads, like this one, and gives you a greater accessibility to content you may want to watch on other platforms. I can watch Japanese Netflix. Is that even a thing? Maybe. You can find out with NordVPN. It is worth mentioning that CIG and Star Citizen don't actually produce a NordVPN ship yet. But NordVPN is available separately from the links below, and clicking those does help me buy spaceships, so it's basically the same thing, right? Go to nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. Get Nord, give ships. I don't know. That's an amazing promo. Every month, We give away a ship for Star Citizen for February 2024. We're giving away a Drake Corsair Explorer with lifetime insurance and a game package. Everything you need to play and explore Star Citizen in style. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month. It is as easy as that. More details in the comments below. A massive thank you to everyone that goes the extra mile in supporting the channel. It is with your support we are able to make daily Star Citizen videos. If you want to be one of those lovely people, then please check out the join button under my videos. That help you become a channel member. There's Patreon, there's direct donations. All the links for all of that are down below. But there are loads of non-monetary ways you can help support us. Commenting, sharing, liking, all of that sort of stuff goes a huge way in helping the channel grow. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and you have a great day.